Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 13 of SuperSports, the review series for, as the name suggests, the SuperSports cars of GT6. This is vehicles which are beyond your average sports car, but not necessarily a completely bona fide supercar. Now this may seem a bit of a strange choice of car to include in this series. It is, of course, the Honda NSX, specifically the 2002 premium Honda NSX Type R, or NSXR. Why on earth is this in a super sports car series? Surely it's not a super sports car, it's just a sports car. I mean, the performance is around the same kind of level in its stock form as something like a Skyline or a Supra, and you wouldn't call those super sports cars. So why is this a super sports car? Well, for a very simple reason. What this car can do with those raw specs. Because the Honda NSX is, as many people know by now, one of the most respected performance cars ever made. Ayrton Senna was involved in its development. It has a massive following of fans in all of its versions. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, only one NSX Type R of this generation was ever actually imported here to the UK, so it's ultra rare over here, but I believe it's pretty rare everywhere. I'm not sure exactly how many were made, but not many, as far as I know. And on the surface of things, it may seem like it's not that much better than the standard NSX. I mean, it's got a black roof, a slightly bigger rear wing, and it's slightly lighter, and it costs a lot more. But the power still sits at the pretty much standard 276. How much quicker could it be? Well, a lot quicker than you might think, actually, because in real life the NSX Type R can actually hit 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds. That's in real life. Not a tuned version on the game, that's the real version. That's Ferrari territory. So any question that this is a super sports car is irrelevant, because it is, in every sense. Now on the game, you can obviously push the car far further than you could safely do in real life, and being able to do that really allows you to unlock just how much of a performance wonder the NSX Type R really is. Now I must admit, I've never really been a fan of the NSX until this series, to be honest. And as I've said before with some of my other series, making these videos for you guys actually helps me to appreciate some cars more as well. And that was the case with this model, because the NSX is one of those vehicles which I've always respected, but at the same time I've kind of always found it a little bit dull. It's a bit boxy, a bit understated, a bit too understated for me, and its performance was never that outstandingly good on the surface of things. And that is the main thing about this car. What it is actually capable of goes far beyond the raw specs of the car on paper. Because on the game, even in its fully tuned form, it doesn't sound that amazing. It produces 484 horsepower from its naturally aspirated 3.2 litre VTEC engine. That doesn't sound very impressive. That's pretty much the lowest car of this SuperSports series. And this series includes, of course, vehicles with 7, 8, even 900 or more horsepower. So how on earth could this car compete with those vehicles? Well, as it turns out, it not only can compete with them, in some cases it can absolutely blow them out of the water. Because one of the great things about the NSX is its track potential, because not everything is about straight line performance. As it happens though, this car is outstandingly good in a straight line as well. Because despite only having 484 horsepower, and it is kind of a shame that we can't turbocharge it, because it could be even more of a monster if we could, but even with its 484 horsepower, this car can cruise at around 235 to 240 miles per hour without NOS or slipstream. So it's certainly no slouch. The acceleration is also very fast, thanks to the fact that there's of course no turbo lag, there's no supercharger weighing the engine down, and the car itself in general is extremely light. It's mid-engined, which is kind of different for the SuperSports class. Not so many of them are, as in the supercar class. And there's all that technology and development that was put into this car. This wasn't just a garden shed special. A lot of thought was put into the NSX, and you can really feel that when you drive the car. Now, when I brought this car out for this Nürburgring lap, I didn't expect it to be all that great. I was expecting maybe a 7.5 minute lap. It did it in around 6 minutes and 20 seconds. I was not expecting that. From a 557 pp car, that's only around 15 to 20 seconds off the pace of a Toyota TS30 hybrid LMP car. That's crazy fast. Now, this car is pretty expensive for a JDM model. It's just under 120,000 credits. But as you'll have probably got the impression of by now, I would definitely recommend spending 120 grand on this car. It's a premium model as well, so you get the fully detailed interior. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't care about the glitz and glamour, just wants a pure, dominating, hardcore track machine, the NSX punches so far above its weight, it's almost ridiculous. So, that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.